Hi there, I'm Jeanette, stampingwithsaffieme.com, and today's project is this one. It's a really super cute little gift box bag, and I've got some really nice scented soap in mine, but you can fill it with all sorts of goodies and sweeties and things like that. I've also made a little matching card to go with it. I do like a gift set, so that's what we're going to be making today. So let's get on and make it. Okay, the first thing you're going to need is your Whisper White to make up the box. Now, your Whisper White will measure 11.5 inches by 4 1/8 of an inch. Okay, let me just grab my scoreboard and we'll score. Now, the measurements are, let's find my score tool, here we are. So you want to score at 1 inch, at 2 inches, at 5.5 inches, 6.5 inches, 7.5 inches, and 11 inches. And then you want to turn and just score the bottom of your box. You want to score that at 1.5 inches. And that's your scoring done on that. Now, before I put the score board away, your coloured cardstock, I've actually pre-scored this earlier just to save a little bit of time, but you want to, it actually measures, give you the measurements first, that would help, 10 3/8 of an inch by 3.5 inches, and it's scored at 4 1/8 of an inch and 6 1/4 inches. I was actually making a few of these earlier, and I actually made one extra, and I thought, well, I might as well use it on this project, sharing it with you today. The colour, haven't told you about the colours, have I? Now, this one is Marina Mist, beautiful, and this one was a Flirty Flamingo, which is gorgeous too. So, what we need to do is burnish our score lines as per usual. That's burnished already, so let me just do this one. Really quick and easy to make, and I think really effective as well. Really pleased with this because you're only actually using half a sheet of Whisper White, and you can actually fit quite a bit in it. Now, as per usual, I don't burnish these score lines here. They are just to pinch in, which I'll show you when we put the box together how that works. Okay, so you want to just snip off this skinny oblong bit here. You don't need that to put your box together, and I always cut it at a slight wedge. I always think the box goes together much better when you've taken that little bit off. And then we want to cut up these score lines here, just the ones that you've burnished. Ignore the one in the middle. You don't need to burnish that one. And that. Okay, so I'm going to use my glue, I think, today. So I'm just going to glue this down. Probably going to have to hold it down. I do love this glue. I think the only thing when you're making videos, it does take a little while for it to stick, but it is my preference, really. Fast fuse, good as well. Don't forget that is retiring, so again, you need to stock up if you want to get some of that as well. So we want to just fold these flaps in. Let me just check where my seam is. That's there at the back, so that's the back of my box. So I want to fold that in, and that's going to come over like that. So let's just get a bit more glue on the bottom, and then I'm going to leave it to dry, and then we'll work on the other one. Let me just get my bone folder in there and just give it a quick tap down. Okay, I'm just going to put that to one side, so to let that set, and then you want to bring this piece in. Burnish both sides. Now, what I tend to do when I'm punching, I'm using the punch for handles, I like to make templates. It's so much easier. You can't go wrong because you know, you can put as many score lines on there as you want. You can mark the centre and then punch, and that's what I did. I put across, I knew exactly where the centre was, I measured it, and then I just lined my piece of card up where I wanted it and punched, and that way you're not going to ruin your good cardstock. So all I'm going to do here is put my template on like that, just line it up at the top, and I'm just going to draw inside. I'm just going to draw the top bit, and I'm going to turn it round, and I'm going to do the same on that side. I do like my handles to be the same, and I just find this works really well. Doesn't even matter if you go off, you can draw on it, doesn't really matter. And then you can keep that. And I think if you're doing a lot of these, I just think it helps anyway. So then when you've got your punch, this is your classic label punch. You want to pop it in like that, and you can just see your pencil mark, so you know it's going to be straight and punch, and you know it's going to be spot on every single time without faffing around. I find this is the easiest way. So there you go, and that's done already. Okay, so what I've done, and this is optional if you have it or not, but I've used the I think it's the Layered Leaves embossing folder, but you could use any embossing folder. Just use your favourite one, and you want to pop it through your big. All you need to do is pop that inside like that. Just line it up at the bottom. In fact, if you just pop it like that, it doesn't need to be accurate because it's Layered Leaves. There's no particular pattern that would look wrong, I suppose. And then you just need to run it through your Big Shot. Now, let me bring my Big Shot in. And at the moment, I've got the magnetic plate, which we don't need. Let me just grab the other one. So for this one, you just need your Big Shot platform, and because it's quite a thick embossing folder, you don't need anything else. If you pop that on your plate like that, you just need the top one, and just run that through your Big Shot. So you're just going to do one side, and then you're going to do the other. Take that out and put it back in there, so you can see it's just embossed one side. I don't want to. You can emboss the bottom if you want to, but I'm just going to emboss both sides. So again, just take that out, and then you want to pop that in like that. Just make sure it's straight at the bottom. That's all you need to do. Any particular way, that's fine. And again, just pop that on your Big Shot, and pop one of the cutting plates on top, and then just run that through like that, and that's it. And put that to one side. I do tend to use the magnetic plate when I'm cutting dies. I find it quicker, but you can't use that for when you're using the embossing folders. So then it's starting to look really, really, really pretty, and that will just go on there like that. As you can see at the moment, it's going to look like that. But what we are going to do, and this is where these score lines come in really handy, we just pinch it in like that without hardly anything at all. It just folds in on itself like that, and you get a really nice line down the middle. I like it anyway. So the next thing you want to do is glue this on. Again, use your Tombow. You can put plenty on, and because you've got the wrap going all the way around, it does make it quite a strong box. So you could actually put something quite heavy in it, and then just pop it on there like that, and then put your sides up just to make sure you've got it in the right place and it fits in perfectly right. Okay, so Now you will have noticed I didn't put any glue on there. You can leave it like that, or you could put some glue dots or whatever. I'm probably just going to put a couple of glue dots on just to keep it closed. But again, you can use anything. You could use Tombow if you wanted to. You can use your fast fuse, tear tape. But you just want it just keeps it closed. One more. There we go, and then that will stay like that. You can see how it's looking, so you can put all your goodies inside. But let's just make the decoration. Okay, so what you're going to need is, I've got my list here, you're going to need the layering. Let me just bring everything in and then you can see exactly what I'm going to be using. You're going to be using your layering circle framelits. You're going to be using your stitched shape framelits. I'm using the Flourish thinlits, and I'm also using the Flourishing Phrases stamp set. I'm going to use this really beautiful flower design. Now I do know this is carrying over into next year's catalogue. I'm really pleased about that. I actually designed this project quite a while ago, so I didn't even know that it was going to be carrying over, but I'm really glad it is. Yeah, I think it's really beautiful, and the Flourishing thinlits. In fact, all these items, the layering circles and the stitched shape framelits are also going to be carrying over, so that's absolutely fabulous. Okay, so I've already got my stamp mounted, my little flower design. I've got my Marina Mist ink, and I have my scrap of Whisper White. It's just standard Whisper White, and we just want to ink up, and we're going to stamp this twice. So I always check my stamp to make sure that I haven't got any ink around the edges, so it's not going to smudge my stamp or make a mess. And we're going to stamp, and that really just look beautiful. I don't really mind that it's not totally covered there. I think it's part of the effect. But it's entirely up to you. You can fill that in using a blender pen, or your Wink of Stella, or anything really, or even the no, I don't think we do have watercolour pencil, but you can actually use the ink. You can actually just dip into your ink and then fill it in if you wanted to, but I quite like the effect like that. It's hand stamping. I actually quite like my hand stamping to look slightly different anyway on all my things. If I'm doing quite a few things, to me it doesn't matter. I'll just get that out of the way. So that's my hand stamping done. Now I'm going to just leave that to dry before I cut it out. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have to bring my Big Shot in again with my magnetic platform this time. Just grab that. And I'm going to cut out one of the little flowers. Now I've actually used this really pretty little one here, and you want to do two of these. You're going to do two of everything, because you're going to do one for the front of your box, and you're going to do one for the front of your card, so you want to do two. I'm just going to do one because I have got one prepared just to save time, because I don't want this video to go on forever. So you just need a little tiny scrap of Marina Mist. Pop it on. You've got your magnetic platform, you've got a cutting plate, and then you want another cutting plate on top, and you want to roll it through, and you want to roll it back. Now I always do it a couple of times just to make sure that it's cut properly and it's not missing anything. I'll just put that to one side for now. And then it just comes out really, really easily. Now you can use a little spongy mat and the roller to get all the bits and pieces out, but I'm quite happy just to sit with my paper piercer and push all these bits out. push all the bits out before I actually take it out, because it's a lot easier to start doing that rather than taking it off and then trying to get the bits out. So you don't want to tear it, and this way you won't tear it. Just got a couple more bits. Just keep turning it around just to see if everything's out. And then you've just got one there, one more. Okay, get rid of those bits. And then now you can push it out. So just use your paper piercer, and you can just very gently in between pop your paper piercer just all the way around, and it'll start to come away, and then you'll find it will just pop out. Maybe not. Maybe not. Push a bit more. Don't force it because you will tear it, so just very gently all the way around. There, it's just popped out now and it's absolutely fine. I'll put that to one side. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is get your stitched framelit, and we're going to cut these out. Now the one you want to use is the one that when you pop it on, you can it just fits around. You can just see the tips. It just fits on the tips. You can just see. You might just cut the very tip off, but that's absolutely fine. It looks great. And you just want to cut those out. So I'm just going to cut these out using the Big Shot, both of them. Won't be a second. It'll be quicker than bringing it back in again. That's one, and I'll just do the other one off camera. Now, you just need to go back and forth when you're doing these. These do cut very, very easily, so you've got two. Now, while you do have your Big Shot, and I just want to save some time, basically you want to cut yourself a piece of vellum as well. Cut yourself 2 pieces of vellum. And also, with your layering circles, framelit, for the scallop, you want 2 of those as well. Now the one that you want to use, if you get your stitched framelit and you get the scallop, and if you can see there, you just get that really tiny whisper of a border all the way around. That's what I do when I'm deciding on which layering circle or scallop to use. I only like a whisper of a border, but it's entirely up to you. If you want something slightly bigger, then just go for the big one. It's your work, so and your little project, so you do what suits you. Now earlier on, I've actually put the one together for the card. That'll actually go on the card base, just to save some time. So what you will need to do is cut yourself a 3" by 3" square, and just put your layering, put it in the embossing folder and run that through as well. And we'll put this together in a minute. We'll put it together in exactly the same way, but it was just to save some time, because we don't want to be here forever, and they are exactly the same. So I don't need 2 of those, I only need 1. So what you will have 2 each of these. You will have 1 of these, and yeah, a piece of vellum. Love this vellum. I've been using it quite a lot recently in my projects, and I just think it adds that extra touch of class, especially when you're using such a lovely bold stamp effect as this. It does look really nice. So you want to just grab your glue dots and your paper piercer, and you're just going to add your vellum. So you just need a glue dot, and you just want to pop that in the centre, and then just grab your piece of vellum and pop that in the centre. And then the next thing to do is get your multi-purpose glue, That is a Saffie in the background wanting some attention. She's just woken up. She's normally asleep actually underneath my desk, but yeah, fully awake at the moment. She's probably going to jump on the desk actually, so I'm just going to ignore I'm just going to ignore her and carry on. And it's because my son has got his bedroom door shut and she wants to go in there. So all you want to do is on the back of your flower that you cut out, just put a little bit of glue on there and just let it go tacky for a minute. And then what we're going to do is just glue this one. It's a good job I've got my ink pads shut because she would just stand in them and there'd be a mess everywhere. Saff. And then you can just glue that on there, and it does look so pretty with that little border. It really does look nice. And now that's just gone tacky, so it'll glue straight on you, so you do need to be quite accurate with this now. So decide which way you want to add this. I'm using the petal, and I'm using the petal that's sort of like sticking out the most, I suppose. That's how you can say it really. Okay, so you just pop that on top, and it looks really pretty. And then just lift these up just slightly all the way around. And then that looks really pretty. And okay, do two at once, and then it'll save time as well. So then I've got these really pretty enamel shapes on here. I've just used the circle, but I really like the star actually. I love the heart as well, but I think it looks really pretty, so I've added a star on there. So I'm going to do a star on here, but before you put it on, you just want to add a little glue dot. So if you just fold it over into a little ball with your paper pierce and just pop it in the middle. They are self-adhesive, but I just want it to stick out a little bit more because we've added this on top. Otherwise it gets lost a little bit otherwise. And then you want to take your star off. And then again, I want the pointy bit at the top. And then when you've got it where you want it, then you can just stick it down. Just move it up a little bit. There we go. And then you can just, again, and then you want some Stampin' dimensionals. They've disappeared, there they are. And you just need a couple. Then decide before you stick it on which way around you want it. I want them a little star at the top. Which way around that way? That's it. Just going to move my star around a little bit. And just checking which way around. No, that's the back. And then which way around did I have it? Oh, honestly. Which way around? Which way around? Oh. There we go. Looks about in the middle, and stick it down, and there you go, it's nearly there. So you can pop your goodies inside. For this one, obviously just do exactly the same thing, but you're just popping it onto your 3x3 piece of coloured cardstock, and then it's entirely up to you. We're not actually making the card and the envelope today. I was going to make the whole thing, but this is a 4x4 card, so for this one all you would have to do is cut yourself a piece of the thicker Whisper White at 8 inches by 4, but you can do this, you can cut your card base at whatever size you want. I just like 4x4 cards. I think they look really nice. And I've also made using the envelope punch board. I've just made using the basic Whisper White, and I've just hand stamped on the flap just the flower as well, so it coordinates with it. So that's all you need to do with that, and that will finish that off. So let's just finish this bag off. So we just need to add our organza ribbon. Love this stuff, it's so pretty. So you can just cut yourself a length of this. I think that'll be plenty. And then how I put it together, I always like to use pegs or something just to keep it closed, which, you know, like that. And then all I did, just fold it in half like that, thread it through, obviously put your gift inside, thread it through, and then pull it closed. But that's not quite right, is it? It's that way. Should have practiced first, shouldn't I? There we go. There we go. Shall I do that again so you can see? It's that way around. So you want to go from back to front. So if you can pop your organza in like that. And then just pop that through like that. And there we go. And then you want to tie a bow as well. But it looks really pretty from the back as well. Let me just fiddle around with it so it's not twisted. There we are. You don't want to be twisted at the back. And then just faff around with it and make sure you're happy with it. So it looks like that from the back. It looks really nice. And then we'll just want to add tie the bow. So let's just pop it down. There you are. Leave yourself a bit more, maybe. Make it easy for yourself rather than difficult. I'm not happy with that. I'm going to be here forever tying this, I think. You see, that's upside down. I don't want it upside down. That's why I turn it round. Oh, honestly. You could just tie a knot to make it easier for yourself, if you want. There. There. Is that looking something like? And then pull them down like that. Ah, that's better. Pretty, pretty. Okay, and then all you need to do is let me just grab my ribbon scissors and cut it like that. And there you go, really pretty. Marina Mist, I really like it. This is one of the colours that is going to be retiring. I love this colour, so I am really quite sad. But saying that, oh my goodness, I am so excited. I have viewed the catalogue online and it is beautiful. It is absolutely stunning. And this Flirty Flamingo, now I know it's an in colour and it should be retiring. It's no longer going to be an in colour, but it is staying with us. So I was really pleased and excited about that. Yeah, it's going to be included in one of the core colours, so I'm so pleased. So anyway, I hope you like that project. Really cute little box. I hope you agree. And yeah, thank you for joining me today. Thank you. Bye bye.